When something this major happens, when you have the fallout, 50 women coming forward, that it's a watershed moment.
We arrested a former employee who was working at Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls. She was arrested yesterday for several charges, including assault, indecent assault, as well as...
Gene Deal goes off on Oprah, Gayle King, and Diddy, celebrity friends.
The word on the street is that Oprah might be trying to leave the country. Why? Let me give you the scoop. It all started with Diddy, the music mogul, getting arrested. Now everyone's wondering what's really going on. But here's the twist. Oprah was seen by the BBC attempting to leave the country. What's her connection to Diddy's mess? That's the million-dollar question. Could it be business, something personal, or maybe even something more scandalous? But there's more. You won't believe what else we found.
Against Diddy. And like I said, this brother either got some tape, some dirt on them. I remember Diddy said something about, hey, if y'all really, like, for the ones who really rock with me, like, he was saying, like, I mean, really, really rock with me. I think what he said by that is, like, for the ones who really know what I be doing and know that you were there to witness it. And I know what you did too. It's crazy, man. Because like I say, where is everybody at? All the people that was at these parties, where y'all at now? Back on the Art of Dialogue channel. I'll leave in the description. We ain't gonna waste no more time, man. Shout out to all the good humans. Let's jump right into it. Let's see what he got to say.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. That's crazy, man. But why haven't any of Diddy friends spoke up for him?
My man, listen here. All those ones who made it to the Diddy party,
yeah,
to the after party, and to the hotel lobby.
After the party is the after party.
They not gonna ruin their brand.
Speak on it.
They not gonna say nothing. Man, I was watching the other day. Listen to me. They did that, they on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King and Nate and that other guy, they were talking about, they showed him beating Cassie, and they showed him the apology and the whole 9 yards. All they said is that we have commentary about that, but we got to go to a commercial. They never came back and said nothing about it. I was like, yo, damn. He still got power like that? Somebody still like him like that? Because you know he was running with Oprah and them. He was running with that whole crew.
Yeah.
Weinstein, Oprah, Epstein. He was running with that whole crew.
And we know what Oprah said about Weinstein, you know, when all that stuff came out. So I'm trying to tell y'all, man, I know I've been covering a lot of these videos. I feel like this is what's important right now, you know, because it's a lot of people who support a lot of these artists, these talk show hosts. I was doing it at one point. But it's when you find out information, man, you need to act on it. Whether it's not supporting them no more, I want to know everything I need to know. All right, because these people will have you fooled, man. They will have you fooled.
They want to know how we're going to do it, how the public is going to take him. Is the public going to let him back in? And the public is not. The public is already canceling him. I don't believe the industry has canceled him yet. All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced what he has done. I haven't heard one of them.
Now, you're probably asking, what's got Diddy in trouble this time? Hold on, because what we found out will blow your mind. This isn't just about him. There's a web of A-listers tangled in this mess. Diddy got arrested after a raid on his homes in Los Angeles and Miami, with federal agents sweeping in. And this isn't just Hollywood drama. It's real, and it's serious. Rumors are swirling about sex trafficking and drugs. Yep, this is beyond the usual celebrity scandal. The feds seized Diddy's phones and computers, so who knows what secrets might spill from them. Some big names are probably sweating right now, and Hollywood is reacting fast. Former friends are pretending they don't know him.
I have not heard one person denounce, well, man, let God handle it. Get the hell out of here.
He ain't lying.
Get out of here with that.
That's what most of them are saying.
If that was your daughter, would you let God handle it? All those people, they ain't denounced him. They ain't definitely, they can't come forward and say, yo, I support him. Because it would mess up their brand.
Yeah.
It would mess up their brand. Jay-Z. We the only one could call each other Sean. Jay is the only one could call me Sean. I'm the only one could call him Sean. Get the hell out of here. If that ain't no fun boy stuff.
Yeah.
But you ain't had not one person, brother, not one person sit there, denounce what he did, or come forward and say, I support him.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Nobody haven't came out to support him, man. Not one person outside of Stevie J.
Yeah, Stevie J.
Stevie don't count, bro.
Again, like, you know, I wonder what people are going to say once all this cools down. Whether it's him going to jail, him not going. I just wonder what people are going to say. Because, you know, I know Oprah had so many people on her show dealing with, like, I got to choose my words carefully, man. YouTube be, boy, they be. But when it's dealing with men and women, you know, y'all know what I'm trying to say. The DV, you'll figure it out. The domestic stuff. She's had so many people on her channel talk about, her show talk about that. So it's like, but you already know with Oprah, with the whole Maui situation going on, that she got a lot of backlash for that. It's just, my whole thing is like, saying nothing is almost worse. Cause like, it's not like you gotta say, oh, I need to wait to see. You don't need to wait. Everybody in the world done seen that video. And it just goes to show that, I mean, you could even go like Chris Brown, that situation with him and Rihanna. You know, people still got him featured in their song. Like, people will, they'll forgive, but they won't forget. But at the same time, it's like, what is the real punishment? You know, you take your just average person and they're gonna be locked up, right? So it goes to show you that, you know, this dude is working with some powerful people who's probably keeping him out of jail to keep themselves out of jail. Yeah, but we already know how Oprah is.
But here's the twist. Not everyone's staying silent. Some insiders are speaking up, and the stories aren't pretty. Whispers of shady deals have Diddy at the center of it all. His empire, Ciroc Vodka, Sean John Clothing, Bad Boy Records, it's all at risk. Sponsors are considering jumping ship, and Diddy's not the only one under scrutiny. Other big names, some you'd never suspect, might be involved too. And that's where Oprah comes in. If she's really trying to get out of town, it's no coincidence. Oprah has connections in Hollywood, and if she's fleeing, you've got to wonder what she knows that we don't. Other celebs are vanishing from social media and canceling appearances, too. This could be the end of Diddy's empire as we know it.
Charles, I mean, shocking is an understatement when you hear the details of this case. What are your thoughts after hearing the indictment yesterday?
Good morning, Brian and Natalie. I got to tell you, my thoughts reading the 14-page indictment yesterday were that there are a lot of people in Hollywood who are probably worried about which Diddy parties they were at and what was going on. That's not to say that they were necessarily even involved in any of the things that are alleged by the U.S. Attorney's Office. But if you're at that party and it turns out that that's when he set up one of these freak-off sex parties, or that it was going on in another room and you didn't know about it, there's a good chance that you're going to be called by the U.S. Attorney's Office. And certainly if you were involved, you would get a call because they're going to want to know everything you want to know and may even want you to be a witness. I just think, we're just starting to scratch the surface of what this case, this case is going to touch and involve. And the feds have said that this remains an open investigation. There could be more charges for Diddy. There could be more charges for other people involved. And usually the way this works is once they find out other people are involved or were witnesses, they bring them in and they sort of lean on them, and it's sort of like, you're going to cooperate with us, or there's a possibility that you could face charges. So this is going to be a slow developing a case here because we're just getting started, and I don't see how this trial begins anytime before next year.
There are a lot of wild allegations in those documents that came out yesterday, including 1,000 bottles of baby oil. What surprised you the most about what you read yesterday?
Yeah, I mean, that, Brian, was definitely an alarming graph of the indictment when you read that when they raided, I believe it was the Miami home, where they found 1,000 bottles of, and they said that these were items that were used at the freak-offs. There were also large amounts of drugs, they said, cocaine, ketamine, Molly, GHB, the rape drug. So, they said that the house, according to the feds, that was stocked for these parties that were going on. And then to read their description of how Diddy, as they say, lured women into joining these parties. And they say that he would meet them or lure them, get to know them, and lure them in thinking they would think that there was going to be a romantic relationship with him. And then it would turn out that they would be at these freak-offs where they would be forced to have, or drugged and forced to have sex with male prostitutes that he was bringing in. And that's one of the counts that he's facing also, is the transportation of individuals for a purpose of prostitution. So really alarming allegations laid out in court. Diddy, of course, has pled not guilty to all of it. And then the real kicker for him at the end of the day was that the judge said you will be held without bail. And that means however long it takes for this trial to begin, he will be in a federal detention facility in Brooklyn, and not a very nice one. In fact, a fairly notorious one. So you got to figure it. He wants out of there, and he wants out as soon as possible.
As Diddy's world falls apart, Oprah's making her move. The BBC caught her looking anxious at the airport, hiding behind sunglasses. But what's Oprah's role in this drama? Why the sudden escape? People are starting to wonder if she might have had some business dealings with Diddy that she's not proud of. In Hollywood, everyone's connected, and those connections can come back to haunt you. Could Oprah be mixed up in Diddy's shady deals? It's got people clutching their pearls.
This era right now, Charles, of men with power falling from grace in Hollywood. And when I think about Harvey Weinstein, that was an open secret in Hollywood for a very long time about what he was doing with victims. Was this also the case with P. Diddy, that the people kind of knew this was going on?
I will say this, there have always been whispers about his power and how he wielded that power. But I can't say I heard any whispers about these freak-offs, and it's really alarming. You know, we were talking about it yesterday. One, these parties had a lot of individuals. In fact, the U.S. Attorney's Office says that the parties would sometimes go on for days. So there are a lot of individuals involved, and they say this has been going on for more than 10 years, and yet we didn't hear about that. So that means that all the people that were involved, according to the feds, that he managed to keep them all quiet, that nobody would speak about it. And that does sort of speak to the kind of power he wielded and the fear that people had of him. We're also talking about the fact that the beating of Cassie, which was captured on the hotel surveillance video, that was, 6 years ago. And nobody knew about it. Nobody heard about it. Think about all the people that were at the hotel who may have known about it, people who saw the surveillance video and never spoke about it. And like you said, we're in an era where when things like that happen, people speak out about it. So the fact that no one did, and that it only took this, really Cassie's lawsuit before any of this started coming out, it does kind of speak to the power that he wielded, and that the fact that nobody wanted to cross him.
And Charles, what do you think happens next in this case? Members of Sean Combs' family have been ordered to give up their passports. He's currently in jail. What do you think happens from here?
Well, his attorneys, the first thing that's going to happen is today, his attorneys are going back into court. They've appealed the bail ruling. And like I said, I'm sure he wants out, and that's their first job right now is to get him out. They've offered a $50 million package for bail. That was rejected yesterday, but they're going to take another swing at it today. And then after that, what happens, he did surrender his passport to his lawyer. We should say the way his team put it out originally, they made it sound like he had turned it over to the authorities. He had turned over his passport back in April to his lawyer, as did his children and his mother. And their point was they wanted to make the case to the court that, look, we're cooperating here. He is not a flight risk. And they feel like the U.S. Attorney's Office undermined that by raiding his hotel on Monday night and arresting him when they say he was in New York because he was more than willing to surrender. In fact, the plan was for him to surrender on Tuesday, and then for some reason, the feds decided to arrest him Monday night. Diddy's attorneys think they did that so that it would look like he wasn't cooperating, and then the judge would deny him bail, which, as it turns out, is what happened.
And here's where it gets even more interesting. Oprah's done countless interviews with celebs spilling their secrets on her couch. What if she's been holding on to a treasure trove of celebrity secrets all this time? I'm not saying Oprah's done anything wrong, but when you're on top, there's a long way to fall. With Diddy's empire crashing, she could be next.
Kind of funny. I caught a little flack about saying something about the mayor. But you gotta realize is that they've been watching the mayor since 2013, 2014. No. 7 years, what this is? Like 2014, bruh. They've been watching the mayor since 2014. So if they got the mayor under surveillance since 2014 and they running the case up on him, they let him do all that corruption, let him do all that shit when he was the Brooklyn borough president. Then they let him go get elected to mayor. This is our government, man. This is the federal government who's supposed to protect us. This is the federal government who's supposed to, make sure that our government is in line. So if you knew the man was doing, if you knew the Brooklyn borough president was doing corruption while he was a Brooklyn borough president, why would you allow him to go be the mayor of the largest metropolitan city in the world without giving the information to stop him from being mayor? Now he goes and he's doing the same that they got him for the same dealing with the Turkish government and the whole 9 yards and some other things. Now, we don't even know how Diddy got the key to the city. when in fact, he did a lot of destruction in the city. The 9 kids at City College that died. And speaking about the 9 kids at City College that died, bro. Somebody sent me this 2006 documentary he did. It was called Black and White. Sean Combs and stuff like that. Yo, I was there at City College. I know exactly what happened. I know exactly what went down. Puff got on this documentary and he said that he looked down and there was 9 bodies on the floor and he tried to give each one of them mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, and he was the only one he turned around and looked, everybody was gone, and he was the only one trying to save the 9 people. I like, this man done lost his motherfucking rabbit ass mind. When in fact, when this shit happened, he ran up out of there as quick as possible. When you look at those films and you look at those tapes, you don't see him down there. And you definitely don't see him like he just said in that tape. Y'all go watch that shit. He said that he felt the souls of 9 people in his mouth because he was trying to resuscitate all 9 of them by himself. Something was wrong with that picture, bro. Something was wrong with that. But to get back to the mayor thing, man, is that if he was a part of that, how the f he get the key to the city? That's crazy to me. If he was in incidents and everything around the city that wasn't favorable, how he get key to the city? So now, yeah, now you gotta realize, if they had the mayor under investigation since 2014, Diddy was in investigation around 2011, 9 or 11, something like that. They say he's 9 or 11. One of those people are responsible for the feds looking out after one, or either Diddy responsible, his interaction with the mayor, or the mayor interaction with Diddy may have caused the feds to be looking at both of them in some form or fashion. I don't know which one was first. Was it Diddy interaction with the mayor or the mayor interaction with Diddy? Which one did the Fed have under surveillance first? And I think it was probably Diddy. They probably had him under, it said 2011. So they said the mayor's stuff goes back to 2014. So it may have been Diddy. And this interaction with the mayor may have caused them to start looking at the mayor in a certain way. And it was so many, it was so many reports out there, brother. You gotta realize, when people are getting awards, they hire an investigative agency to go investigate and find out any dirt, the good stuff and the bad stuff on that person. They try to find out the good stuff and the bad stuff on that person. And you gonna say nobody ever watched The Art of Dialogue? Nobody never watched Tisha Tales? None of them people never watched what's her name? The other young lady in Atlanta, Tasha K. Nobody never watched those programs that always had either people or somebody not speaking in Diddy's favor or bringing up information that he had done. They didn't know about Kim Porter, nose being broken, her arm being broken. They didn't know about the little girl Gina being kicked while she was pregnant, punched in the head, and they still give him the key to the city? Get out of here, man. They know about that stuff, bro. I don't know what he had on him or what they was trying to do, by giving that dude the key to the city.
Ready for the real scoop? This isn't just about Oprah and Diddy. Their connection might just be one piece of a much bigger puzzle. These two have crossed paths for years. Remember when Diddy was on Oprah's show? They acted friendly, but what if there was more to it? Rumor has it they may have had joint business ventures, or even hush-hush deals. Oprah has her network, and Diddy has Revolt TV. Have they been quietly helping each other all this time? And it's not just business. They move in the same circles, attending high-profile events and rubbing elbows with the elite. In Hollywood, it's not just about who you know. It's about who knows your secrets.
There are other TikTokers that are following up. So like celebrities and celebrity culture, like I'd like to obviously know her and talk to her and watch her. Did she cross too many powerful people, right? Is the question that many are asking right now.
Did she talk about Epstein?
So Kylie Marissa Roth, famous TikToker, has been found dead with no cause of death given. She recently uploaded videos exposing Oprah and Diddy. The family is unsure about what caused her death. Last week, leading up to her passing, she was having issues with her account with over 700,000 followers being banned. So again, a lot of people are saying like, what's going on here? Very, very, very odd. And a lot of those people are asking, did this have something to do with the exposing of Diddy? She has a lot, based on our review of her channel, she has a lot of focus on the Diddy story, and for good reason. I mean, obviously, right? Like for good reason. There are cameras, hidden cameras found all over Diddy's house.
Yeah.
Like when the feds raided the house, you know, the house looked like this on the inside. And they ripped up everything looking for electronics. You can see the footage of the feds carrying out electronics, computers, hard drives from the house. Surely Diddy recorded somebody who he shouldn't have in his freakout parties, right?
That's what we were saying.
Got either a politician or somebody famous, somebody who could like call in a federal raid like this. And that's what happened to this guy. Look at this. Look at the servers, the safes cracked open, and the electronics strewn about. That's what the feds were after here. So what are people who knew Diddy saying about all of this? Various rappers are saying, yeah, we knew what you were doing. You had a hard drive with all of these tapes on them, and you were trying to hide them, right? Check it out.
But he needs to build a spot over there in Bali for his boy Puffy. I warned Keefy D to take his ass over there. There's no extradition laws over there. So I'm warning you now, Puffy. Take your ass over there. Reggie prediction. I know Puffy is smart enough, and he probably done already cleaned his houses.
Why?
But sexual predators, what do they do? And we'd be like, damn, why? They treat their sex tapes like, yeah, remember that song, Me and My Girlfriend that Pac did?
Why he sound like this?
Remember what he was talking about? What was Pac talking about, y'all? And that. Do y'all really know what he was talking about? For those of y'all know what he's talking about, he was talking about a gun, but
yeah,
sexual predators is what hold on to their tapes. And cops know that. So I wouldn't be surprised if some storages.
That is very, very true. Especially when you watch those movies and it's like a trophy. You see it has all these people names on them. But like I said, I'm leaning more towards, him having some type of evidence on some really, really, really big names, because they said everybody used to be at those parties. So it could be a combination of both, a combination.
And here's the real tea. Some insiders say Oprah might have been more than just a friend to Diddy. What if she's been his confidant all along? Imagine the secrets Oprah could know. Oprah supported Black entrepreneurs like Diddy, maybe even seeing him as someone she could mentor.
Isn't that interesting? Because lo and behold, just a few short weeks ago, we saw the government agents raiding Puffy's properties and seizing tapes, hard drives, computers, laptops, and various data centers from them, along with, of course, arresting his direct family members, or at the very least placing them under arrest by putting them in handcuffs, bringing them out of the house like this. So does this have anything to do with the death of this TikToker who has been exposing sort of this cover up here, right? You can see like in video after video after video, this expose about Diddy and what's actually happening. And some of these videos getting millions and millions of views. Did you get a little too close to the truth here? We're not exactly certain, but we do know what Jesse Waters was able to uncover about Diddy and about his freak out parties and what they were really about. This is why they're calling him the Jeffrey Epstein of the music industry. Have a listen.
Now, Diddy called these his freak out parties. In attendance were celebrities, politicians, athletes, international dignitaries like British royalty, Prince Harry, and music label executives. Lil Rod claimed some of the biggest names in the recording industry sponsored these parties with sex workers, drugs, and underage girls. The CEO of Universal Music, Lucian Grange, is named as a defendant. So is the former CEO of Motown Records, Ethiopia, Habert Mariam, and others. Lil Rod says hidden cameras were in every room of Diddy's homes. Lil Rod believes that Mr. Combs possesses compromising footage of every person that has attended his freak-off parties and his house parties. Salacious tapes of Hollywood's biggest names, including record CEOs and politicians, doing drugs and cavorting with prostitutes and minors. The complaint argues that these freak-off parties were a business model. Young and up-and-coming talent attended and were promised career opportunities and access to music executives.
In exchange,
they were then plied with drugs and alcohol, filmed. Some were blackmailed. There was a quid pro quo, according to the complaint. Lil Rod said not only were these music executives sponsoring these parties, they were handing Diddy large sums of cash that he used to pay for the sex workers and drugs. Something tells me the IRS is going to be interested.
Yeah, man, I feel like there could be both as far as finding out what's going on with Epstein and still covering this Diddy stuff. But my whole thing is like, I mean, this video was uploaded 2 days ago, so I don't know if anything has came out about her. About the Kylie. So my whole thing is like, if there was some weird shadiness going on with her channel, her page, and I can guarantee you, almost every person that do YouTube or any type of videos have experienced some type of weirdness going on when you try to talk about the truth. It's like they don't want it out. But my whole thing is like, I don't know if her family, if they even will, if anybody will even say anything. But to me, that sounds pretty crazy. You know, that sounds pretty crazy. 36. I mean, people pass away even younger than her. But when they say like no cause of death, like I said, I just don't know if it's released yet. But that is pretty crazy when, like I'm covering people covering, but some people get all the evidence together and then they, or try, at least try to, and then they make their videos, So my whole thing is like,
But now, with his trouble, she might realize how deep she's in. Social media is buzzing with theories. One tweet says they had a secret pact. She'd protect his image, and he'd keep her in the loop. Another theory is that Oprah unknowingly got pulled into Diddy's shady dealings. If Diddy goes down, who will he take with him? This is turning into a massive Hollywood shakeup. If Oprah and Diddy are just the start, we could be looking at Hollywood's biggest scandal yet.